What a lovely view. I always like to paint a picture a little bit. I see two people in a canoe. I see swimmers enjoying a beautiful summer day
Yeah,
in August.
yeah.
And we're here in Erasmus Park on a bench next to Alex. Everyone, welcome to the show, to the Good Place podcast. And what I like about this podcast is that I meet a lot of new people. But I also like the fact to, think of who's in my list, who's in my network. Alex and I would say we know each other quite some time,
Mm.
but it's been a while since we've been in touch. You said 8 years. I lost count, but it doesn't matter. I think we've been following each other's journey.
Mhm.
But I felt, you're on the verge of taking an exciting new step, adventure.
Mhm.
So I was like, Alex, you should be on the bench.
I am.
We made it.
We
Welcome.
we have made it, and I'm glad to be here.
And you chose the bench. I already gave it away, but where are we at?
So we're in Erasmus Park. This is a really cute little park here in Amsterdam that I love because it is quite local, and it's shaped like a square, but it only has a few entrances. So it feels like you're almost on a little island because it is surrounded by water. And it has a spot a little bit further up from where we are sitting that kind of became like the new Marineterrein hangout, where people who didn't want to go all the way to the center to go swimming, they come here. So we're actually looking at a bunch of kids sitting on the sunny side, but actually, if you go further down where we are sitting, you'll get to the grassy area where there's a lot of people sitting and just enjoying the sun, and they go in the water, and it's just really, really nice and local, and it feels a little bit more like here you are with like real people who live here, you know?
Instead of the tourists of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So is this a park you regularly go and sit on a bench for?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, I realized, in the last couple of weeks, because I'm planning my move to Barcelona, that there are so many things that I haven't done in the almost 18 years of living here. Um, and in the last weeks in particular, I've just been spending a lot of time at home because I'm packing. I'm trying to close almost 2 decades of my life here, which is surprisingly a lot of work because there are so many things that you need to consider, so many things you need to take care of, subscriptions, insurances you need to cancel, like thinking about furniture and all this sort of stuff. So, and to be honest, I am a park person, but I've also kind of like been taking a little bit of a step back from my social life to focus on me and what I need. So I don't go anymore as much for walks around this park like I used to with my ex-partner when we were still living together. We used to come here a lot, and also for swims and things. But yeah, unfortunately not as much as I'd like to, but it is a park that I hold very dear in my heart.
Beautiful. When you give this intro away for everyone watching, they're like, what's happening? What's happening?
Mhm.
But quickly go back to who is Alex in the first place? Like, where are you originally from and what brought you to Amsterdam and when did that happen?
That's always a very difficult question because I sometimes think that my story, especially how I got into my line of work, is almost like mythical. Like it's become like this like story that I've told over and over again. I'm like, is it really true? No. So
a fairy tale.
it's a fairy tale. No, I'm Alex. I was born in Mexico City to a Mexican mom and a German dad. And I grew up in Germany because my parents moved back to Germany when I was a year and a half. And then I spent quite a long time living in the UK where I studied. And I thought a bird shot on me, but luckily that was not the case. And then I took a gap year after finishing university, and I started traveling with a friend of mine for 6 months. We went around the world. I was applying for jobs. I actually had already basically almost had a job before I left on this trip for a big bank in the UK in London, but I couldn't go to the last interview because I was already on my way to India, so I didn't get the job, which probably in hindsight was not a bad thing because it was like a year before the financial crisis.
Right.
And then I got a call one day from a recruitment agency who I had already interviewed through for a job at Shell. And they were like, hey, would you be interested in working for British American Tobacco? And I was like, Actually, funnily enough, I was applying to work for them in Hamburg, where they have their German office, but I didn't get a response in time. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's go. So I interviewed, I got the job, and then within a month I moved to Amsterdam. Completely unexpected. I didn't plan to move to Amsterdam. I had Amsterdam not on my radar at all.
It happened to you.
It kind of happened to me. And initially, when I first came here, I actually didn't like Amsterdam at all, because I had negative memories from trips I had taken here with my father and my sister once, and then also with some school friends, where on that trip in particular, people were just, we were all just sitting in this hotel room and my friends were all getting stoned. And I never smoked weed in this entire time that I lived here, just never got into it. So I had this idea of like, oh, everyone's just, smoking weed and like it's just dirty and whatever. But 18 years later, Amsterdam, has shown me that it has so much more to offer, and it is such an important part of my life and my story. And
Who you are as a person, perhaps, as well.
yes, who I am as a person, because without Amsterdam, I would not have become who I am today. And it will always have a place in my heart. But after all this time, and especially the recent events that happened, I'm ready for a new chapter, and this new chapter will be in Barcelona.
I was trying to save this question, but I can't. Why Barcelona?
For me, Barcelona ticks a lot of boxes. I already had a plan to spend more time there 6 years ago. I even had a room in my friend's apartment, which he offered me because I said I wanted to spend some time there and here. And then I met my ex-partner, Michael, and he was like, oh, I just moved here from Berlin, and then after some thinking and like figuring things out, I realized, okay, this is maybe not the right move now. So I left this idea. I put it back in a box and forgot about it. But Barcelona ticks a lot of boxes for me because A, I speak Spanish. B, I've been going there for years and I love this place. I love the beach. I love the mountains. I love the people. I love the culture. And a lot of very close friends of mine have moved there recently from Amsterdam, but also from other cities. So I wouldn't be going to a place where I have no social base. I have a lot of friends there.
Right.
Not just socially through my private life, but also through my work, where I know all the roasters, a lot of cafe owners. I know a lot of people in the coffee industry. And that just makes me feel like I'm technically moving to my second home.
Right.
Which will become my primary home, and I just feel like, after 18 years of living in Amsterdam, I know the city has gone through a lot of changes, but I've also gone through a lot of changes, and I just don't feel like it fits with my current lifestyle anymore as much as it used to be, like years ago. And I feel like I need other stimulus, I need other influences, I need other things from a city now than what I needed 10 years ago, maybe.
So what is it in Amsterdam that doesn't fit your lifestyle anymore then?
I think for me, Amsterdam just has I have so many great memories, of my time here. But the Amsterdam that I remember, that I loved and enjoyed, was the Amsterdam of, Trouw and the early days of the School, of like going to illegal raves under a bridge somewhere. And like, it was a different phase in my life. I've been sober for nearly 5 years now. And this is a change I made it during COVID, and my needs have changed. I don't need the nightlife anymore. I don't go out. I don't need, a lot of the things that Amsterdam offers. And it's also changed because my social circle has changed. A lot of my close friends have left. Many have gone to London, others have gone to Barcelona, others have gone to Zurich, or other cities. And I feel like in this stage where I'm at, I'm 41 now, I feel like a lot of my friends, even the ones who are still here, are like, what else is there? Especially if you have kids, like you maybe want to live somewhere a little bit further out, you want to have a little bit more nature.
Yeah.
And I think Amsterdam is an amazing place when you're young and you're trying to figure out who you are. But I've done all that. I know who I am. I figured that out. I've spent, 18 years in this city. I made amazing friends. I started my businesses. I met my first love. I met friends for life, But now I'm like, what else is there in life? And I want to explore this in Barcelona.
You're a grown-up now.
You could say that. Yeah. I was not a grown-up when I moved here.
So Barcelona fits being that grown-up person who figured it out.
Yeah, I think so.
Whereas Barcelona, of course, also has that the offer for young people
Sure.
for clubbing and partying and so on. So how would you say Barcelona has it that fits? Of course, I get the fresh new start. I get that, and the soft landing with people you already know, which is amazing, right? Is there something else in a change of lifestyle there, you think?
I think for me, it's more about just being able to spend more time outdoors.
Right.
You know, I want to pick up some sports again that I haven't played in years. Like I used to play tennis, you know, when I was younger, and I don't do that anymore. But I do play golf, which I picked up again after a very long break. I used to play when I was a child,
Yeah.
and now I'm playing again since COVID again. Also, great golf courses in Catalonia. Just for anybody in case they want to know. But also it's got proximity to the mountains. You know, I've been skiing in Andorra twice already in recent years. You know, it's like 3 hours away. You can just, if you know that there's good snow, you can just jump in the car and go. You know, like I don't have to think about planning and like flights and all this stuff. But also, I think just in terms of, you know, where I am in life, like I think a lot of the people that I know in Barcelona are also a little bit in the same kind of space where I am.
Right.
And I think just in terms of like the things that we would enjoy together, I think they would just be different. You know, they would include more like long dinners, you know, or like going to the beach or like, you know, going for a weekend away. Like, I don't think these are the same things. I mean, they are not the same things that I used to do. You know, like dinners used to always follow, like precede going out. Going out, spending the whole night out, going even sometimes, you know, the whole weekend out. Like all these things, I don't do those anymore. And so for me, it's all about like, I want to get up early because I rise early now. You know, I'm always awake around 7. Like I love getting out of the house, like, you know, maybe going for a cycle on the beach or going for a swim. Like these things, you know, I could go for a swim here, but it's just not the same. You know, and I've had this already for so long. Like I'm ready for this new chapter and for everything Barcelona has to offer.
Yeah. Was there a runner-up next to Barcelona, or it's been it was Barcelona all the way through?
It's Barcelona all the way.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you describe it that way, you know, I mean, it's very attractive. You know, it's very longing to think of that kind of lifestyle in a new city, which you probably already know, with people that you also already know. So, you know, hence this channel being called, you know, like designing or what is their good place. It's your point of view changes over time, huh?
Yeah.
Perhaps not even that much because you as a person changes, but you aim for more quality over quantity. Freedom, time, all different values. You think your values have changed as well?
I think so.
What you find important?
Yeah, for sure. I was talking about it with a friend of mine just yesterday. We actually went on a really cute canoeing trip out in Osdorp, and it was really, really nice, you know, just to also go to a part of town that I don't really know so well.
Yeah.
But we were both talking about how we have changed as people, and my friend had a terrible brain injury some years ago, so her life, you know, changed massively, and you know, so we were just comparing like the people that we used to be versus today, and back in the day I used to crave like social interactions. You know, I used to go to every birthday, I used to go to every party, I used to go to every work event, like things, you know, wherever I could meet people and be surrounded by people. But that was also because at the time I was single, I didn't have anyone to come home to, I was still going through my wild years. I was trying to also figure out like what I want from life, you know, because it was also the time when I was starting my own business and I was, you know, like struggling a little bit, figuring out how to do this properly. Struggling with the responsibility of being an entrepreneur. You know, a lot of people glamorize being an entrepreneur. They think, oh my God, you know, like you live like Richard Branson, you have your own island. I'm like, my own island is Erasmus Park. I don't own it, but I can go there whenever I want. No, but it's just changed, you know. And I think also after this whole situation with my ex-partner, you know, the breakup and so on, I've just realized that I need to put myself first and what I want from life, and focus on quality friends and people that really have the same values as me, who care about connection, who care about spending really meaningful moments together instead of just having a lot of gatherings where everyone's always together, but it's like a lot of, it's a lot of like hanging out but not much substance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Fluff, exactly. So for me, it's super important to make friends that are actually, people that I want to invest in, as well as, activities and things that I want to invest in. I don't want to pick up things just to drop them again. Like I used to, for example, a silly example, but like I used to really love learning languages, but then I always picked up a language and never really followed through. So, I tried a bit of Swedish, I tried a bit of Basque, I tried a bit of whatever, and last year I said, no, I'm going to learn French. So I've had a teacher once a week for the last year. I've been practicing, and I actually speak it now, So I followed through, and I'm really proud of myself because I'm like, finally, I'm doing something and I'm not just starting it because I'm excited and then I lose interest and then I drop it. No, I'm actually following through. And this is the same thing with, with this idea of moving to Barcelona, selling my business, like I've been trying to get this across the finish line for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
I told my ex-partner last year when we had this conversation about leaving Amsterdam, I was like, I need 1 year. 1 year is the minimum time I need to say goodbye, to close things, to find a solution for how I can run my business, how I can sell part of my business, how I can all do these different things. And it all worked out exactly as I wanted because I was focused and I was not distracted by, I need to have social interactions. I need to make new friends, like friendships that I've been making in the last year have been coming organically, either through unexpected encounters or people that I somehow ended up being in touch again with, and things like this. But I'm not like forcing things. And that's one thing that I really learned. Like I'm trying to do things meaningful and meaningfully with intent, and that's how things work out.
But that also means, would you go to Barcelona if you hadn't known anyone there?
Yeah, I would, because the city is just great. It's just a place that I love, and
Then you would take the time to meet new people.
yeah, of course, and I will still take the time to meet new people there.
Exactly.
Because I want to build a social life there.
Yeah.
Even though I have already, a lot of very close friends live there, but I also want to meet new people. I've been kind of reducing my social interactions here because I know I'm leaving. So I don't really feel like I need to invest now in making a lot of new friends with people I'm not going to see anymore, So I've been like taking a step back from like making an effort.
Yeah.
But once I'm in Barcelona, I'm going to be like, let's do this, I'm going to join all these different clubs. I already found out all these like LGBTQIA plus sports organizations. Like there's a tennis club, there's like this and that. There are.
You already know.
I already know. Like I'm already following them on Instagram. I already talking to them. Like there are all these like meetups where you can meet people, and
Yeah.
this is the stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to meet new people. I want to go out there. I want to.
It's also nice, that energy.
Yes,
Honestly.
I want to go back
Keep on talking
to.
about it. Yeah.
I want to go back to this kind of. To this like. Lifestyle that I had back in the day, but without the drugs, without the drinking.
Yeah.
I just want to. Yeah, be this version of me that I am today, but then the social butterfly I used to be back in the day, and just combine those two and create this whole new me.
Yeah. I can relate to the fact that whenever you go to a new place, not just traveling but visiting, it does feel like a blank canvas. You want to meet new people. You want to, in my case, what's that creative industry like? Who are these people doing it? Or there isn't. You also find out.
Yeah.
But there is this new energy. I'm now like 3-4 years ahead, and still I'm like discovering and exploring, and it feels like you can create again in some ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Also, like the little bridge to your, because also I think a lot of people don't know is that what is that business you have or you've been building over also a decade, right? Yeah. Your little baby. I remember. Yeah. The first subscription.
Yeah.
In my inbox.
Yeah.
And how is that today? And that's going to continue.
So I run the Coffee Vine, which is one of Europe's leading specialty coffee subscription companies. And for over a decade now, I've been sourcing and sharing the most delicious coffees from the world's best roasters. I also create a lot of content around that on social media for Instagram and TikTok, etc. And that's been going for 10 years. It's been going really, really well. I have an amazing customer base. I'm so grateful for everybody who's been supporting this business over the years, including you. It's changed, of course. I have to keep up with the times, but also now that I'm moving to Barcelona, I'm also going to start a new project to give it a fresh new look. The current look is a little bit dated now, so this is all things that I wanted to do, but I wanted to do them once I knew exactly what is happening. In addition to that, I also started 8 years ago a brand called Fresh Drip, which is a super handy, innovative drip bag that you can take with you when you travel to brew coffee on the go. But it's also something that I sell to a lot of hotels. They have Fresh Drip in the rooms, which is a great alternative to instant coffee or capsules. And I was looking to sell this business because it's a lot of work operationally, and I didn't want to have a lot of that in Barcelona. So that's also why I said to my partner, Michael, ex-partner, that I wanted a year so I could find a buyer.
Yeah, exactly.
And I did find a buyer, and this company is called Moyi, and they acquired the business recently, and as of the 1st of August, they are the new owners. And I will be part of this business in the form of director of Fresh Drip within the new organization, but I can do this from Barcelona remotely. I'll be focusing on business development, acquiring new business, which is what I love. I don't love doing the shipping and all that stuff.
Packing boxes.
No, I've done that now long enough. But that was something I had to work towards, which took a long time because it's a niche product. It's not, it's not like capsules, which are everywhere. It's still a niche category, huge in Japan and Korea and Taiwan and places like that. But it's in Europe, it's still pretty new. So I had to find the right partner. Moyi makes this product in their own roastery facility in Kenya, which is amazing, which is exactly what I needed.
Okay.
And I love the company. They're super fun. They're really focused. They're doing some great work. They're trying to change the coffee industry from within, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I also do the comedy quiz. Let's not forget. So this is something I started with.
Newest baby.
With my newest baby, my love child, with Maxine Penny, my best friend in the world, who is an absolute legend. Shout out to Goddess of Queens.
You still need to be on the bench, Maxine.
Yeah, you better work. You better work, bitch. Yeah. So we started this during COVID. COVID was the beginning of a lot of things. We started this for Soho House back in the day because they were looking for some entertainment for their members who were all in lockdown and they had nothing going on. And we were like, hey, we can do a quiz. Yeah. Initially, it was online because obviously we couldn't do this in person, but it has morphed and evolved over the years. And initially, it was just for Soho House Amsterdam, I should say. But then one year, we got approached by a PR agency. Somebody from the PR agency was at one of the quizzes, and they were like, do you do corporate events? And we were like, not yet.
Tomorrow we can.
Tomorrow. And they were like, we're doing a summer party. Could you do a quiz for our summer party? And we were like, yeah. And it just rolled from there. So we have been super fortunate that a lot of business came from our network. But we've done quizzes for Meta, Netflix, Spotify, KLM, Lipton. We're doing one for Molly in September. It's just rolled from there. And more Soho House locations have also offered us to do quizzes for them.
In Barcelona.
Barcelona, Berlin. We're going to the UK next week to do one at Farmhouse, which is a great location. So everywhere we go, people really love the quiz because it is inclusive. It is super fun. It is really interactive. People just love the questions that we ask because they're all really silly and stupid, but really hilarious. And it's just really fun to do it with Maxine because she's such a great presence, on stage. She's so funny. And I just love working with her. And actually, we're doing one tonight at Soho House Amsterdam. So yeah, those are my multiple businesses. But I'm very open to, starting something new in Barcelona. Yeah. Probably not in coffee, I would say. Okay. Just to do something different. But I'm not going to do anything for the time being because I first want to arrive. I have a lot of work already on my plate. So let's see where the future takes me.
So you're probably you're traveling for the comedy.
Every now and again.
Comedy quiz, yeah.
Every now and again. Next week we're going to the UK to do a quiz at Farmhouse, and then in September I'm moving to Spain on the 1st of September. I'll be in Barcelona for my new life, And then on the 11th of September, I'm already coming back for 2 quizzes that we're doing back to back in Amsterdam. So, yeah.
Yep.
It has a way of keeping me. Amsterdam has a way of dragging me back. But it's okay. I'm happy.
Well, I don't think you need a quiz for that.
No, I don't. I love Amsterdam. Even without the quiz, I would be coming back. But now it gives me another reason to come back more regularly.
Well, I think Maxine is gonna miss you.
But she will have a spare room in Barcelona, so she'll be coming back. She'll be visiting me there. Yeah.
So you'll be, this is the whole time sharing concept going on here. She has a spare bedroom for you then, huh?
Yeah, basically, yeah. When I come to Amsterdam, I'm going to stay with her, and when she comes to Barcelona, she'll stay with me. So, yeah, we're going to help each other out.
Awesome. It's like Batman and Robin, or whatever you want to call it.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie
even
and
better.
Clyde. Yeah, she's my ride or die.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, she's a party for sure. Haven't seen her in a while. Shit. Yeah, man. Wow. There's so many things like coffee subscription gonna move. Yeah, I'm also curious to see what. I mean, you're just like me. Like you're a creative mind. You know, you always come up with something new. I am also curious to see. Amsterdam has helped you, of course, to please your coffee, your love for coffee in some ways.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is also a great capital for coffee to discover about so many different things. And I think since you started a decade ago, it has, I don't know, quadrupled, I think, coffee-wise, about the amount of coffee places here in Amsterdam. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
We still need to educate people, though.
We still need to educate because the coffee that I focus on is specialty coffee, and a lot of people are still like confused about coffee. Like they think it is this cheap thing that is grown somewhere in an obscure place, and you know that it's supposed to be super cheap. But the problem is that, of course, coffee is not cheap. It's not grown in some obscure place. It's grown in coffee-producing countries where people need to live. You know, they need to earn a living. Yeah. So I always have these discussions with
people.
Same
like chocolate right now.
Same like chocolate, same like tea. You know, a lot of products that are grown in certain countries where people are poor and they don't get paid what they deserve. So specialty addresses that, luckily, because the roasters that I work with, they pay far above the market price for the coffee, and they often have direct relations with the producers, know them personally. And that makes a huge difference because you know exactly where your coffee is coming from. You have an impact on these people's lives, and you just know it's good quality. You know, with the commercial coffee stuff, it's a little bit more difficult. I don't want to get into that because it's a whole can of worms. But you know, the fact that so much has changed in terms of the coffee scene in Amsterdam, it's incredible. Because when I started the Coffee Vine, it was just a blog. Mm-hmm. It was just me writing about my favorite coffee places and doing tours and stuff around them. And there was like a handful. And now there's too many to count, you know. And now everybody's obsessed with matcha, and who knows what's coming next. But coffee will always be there because it's just such a cultural phenomenon, and it's so important in people's lives and in their routine. You know, I cannot imagine a life without coffee. So, and Barcelona luckily has an amazing coffee scene as well. Amazing roasters, really wonderful people that are doing great work. I love them, and I've worked with most of them. And I'm just lucky to be in this industry because it's so fun, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, very passionate people as well. Huh? Mm-hmm. It's a very, very, I think, very important in those line of businesses to be passionate about the product that you're serving and the love you put in there, because people should appreciate that more on what they drink. You know, if it's expensive, you should have that quality experience in some ways. Okay, coffee, comedy. What's the line of business? What area are you interested in? Are you exploring?
I don't know. I mean, no, I don't think so. Golf is just for pleasure. I don't know. You know, I always had this like dream that one day I would retire, maybe on an own a like cute Airbnb or boutique hotel somewhere in the countryside, overlooking the sea.
Okay. Hospitality.
With a great restaurant, you know, where a lot of stuff is grown on the premises, and just a few rooms, like really nice people, no trashy tourists, you know.
Okay.
Can I say this to you? You have two, right?
Sure. No
I mean,
and go.
I have nothing against kids. I don't want any. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if this is going to be.
I'll visit without kids.
Okay, you're welcome with kids too.
Okay.
But yeah, this is just one idea. You know, the other idea is to look at something in the non-alcoholic drink space.
Okay, yeah.
Because since I've started my sobriety, I've been looking very much into this area, like what is out there. You know, a lot of it is crap. It's just overpriced, you know, water with a flavor or something. You know, it's just not, it's not a real alternative. But there are some people doing some great work in this space. I really love the non-alcoholic, like sparkling wines coming out of Germany. They're fantastic. You can even get non-alcoholic Prosecco. I once told an Italian server that there is such a thing, and she was like, "No, it's impossible." I was like, "Well, you better believe it, honey, because I know it is."
You send her a bottle.
I send her a bottle, but yeah, just maybe something like that. You know, Spain makes amazing, delicious, high-quality wines. There's also vermouth, which is great. I don't know. I mean, there is this whole outdoor culture there, you know, and I think people in Spain just enjoy life together.
Yeah.
You know, much more.
Yeah.
Because there's so many like opportunities to gather, and a lot of people don't spend a lot of time at home, whereas here it's the opposite. You know, people often spend time at home, especially in winter. So maybe that's one thing. I don't know, to be honest. I want to just get there, and I want to just open my mind and to see what's out there. Yeah. You know, I don't necessarily want something right now that is like a physical space where I need to be there in a shop, you know, because that will limit me in terms of what I can do. Yeah. So let's see. I'm not rushing. I will just see if something pops up. Maybe I'll meet some other entrepreneurs or people with great ideas and they're looking for funding, or we can start something together. Maybe that'll be the right way. I don't know. I'm open to all scenarios.
Yeah. Interesting. No need to think about it now. Let's consider it when you're there. First you land, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex, what is a good place to you while we're at it?
Whew. Difficult. I mean, I would always say, you know, home, like a place where you feel safe, where you feel secure and you feel loved. You know, I think my ex and I, we tried to build that together in this apartment that where we lived. I still live there, but not much longer. And it was always our safe space, you know, like our place where we could just be silly with each other and, you know, share these intimate moments. And yeah, that was a good place because we were both at our best, also at our worst, unfortunately, but mostly at our best. Mm-hmm. But I also think that, you know, it's a city, it's a country, it's anything, anywhere you go. You know, it can be a restaurant, like somewhere where you feel like there is a special quality about the place, you know. Some people have like a secret getaway place, like a place where they can retreat to when they're not, you know, not in a good place.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Right, or you know, when they feel like they need to, you know, switch off or recharge. For me, there's many different versions of this. You know, like Mexico is my good place as well. I love going back there. I love spending time in the town where we have a little beach house, and it's just magical there, you know. But I also love being on top of a mountain, you know, and just feeling like, wow, I'm so small, and just putting things into perspective in terms of like my place in this world, you know, that I want to have a good impact on this planet. I want to make a difference, you know, even if it's tiny. I want to feel like I'm making a difference because this is the only place that we know and that we have. Yeah. So this whole, I mean, just very briefly, you know, I do find the idea of like traveling to other planets super exciting, but I'm not sure if it's going to be realistic within my lifetime. Yeah. But you know, I'm a huge sci-fi fan, so I do watch a lot of shows where this is the case, but you know.
Scotty, beam me up. Yeah. Second question would be, I mean, as the sounds of it, I would say yes, but are you in a good place?
Yes, I am in a really good place. I was not in the best place when my partner and I broke up, and I was really confused about what the fuck was happening. Sorry for swearing. But I feel that I tried everything, you know. I tried everything in terms of saving the relationship, accommodating, you know, also his needs. I don't think I succeeded, but I think it was also partly because he didn't want me to succeed. He was very set on his, you know, on this idea that he wanted to go back to Poland. and I didn't want to stop him because I would have just made it worse, you know. So, but I also decided when this all came down to, you know, what are we going to do with our lives? What are we going to do with this house? What are we going to do with everything?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm going to put myself first now because it's my time. You know, I tried for months to save this relationship. I couldn't. And when it became clear that there was no other way than what we are doing now, which is the breakup and selling the house, etc., I was like, okay, then I'm going to do what I want, which is move to Barcelona. I'm going to find a buyer for this business. I'm going to hire someone for my subscription business so I can run it remotely. And I found a great person. His name is Kieran. He's starting this month. And I'm going to continue with the quiz. I'm going to not please anybody anymore. If I don't want to hang out with you, I will not hang out with you because I don't care. I want to have the best life that I can create for myself and for the people that mean something to me, for the people that I love, my family, my close friends. And I'm creating this great place where I am because I believe in what I'm doing. I'm focused. I'm not wasting time. You know, I'm doing what I love and I'm doing what I enjoy, and that is leading me to create this good place for myself.
Yeah. And it's also a feeling.
Yeah.
Not only an act of structure or moving targets, it's also about a feeling, right? And you probably feel it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
That you find it's that sweet spot
Yeah,
for yourself
definitely.
that decides it being in a good place.
Yeah, it's also for me, I think just this having won this unprecedented freedom, because that's also part of the reason why I never made the move before, because I felt tied down, you know, by Fresh Drip, by Coffee Vine, by my responsibilities, by my social life. I was afraid that if I went somewhere else, I would start from scratch or I'd lose everything, you know. But I realized, no. In fact, I'm gaining, you know, because the friendships that I've made over the last decades, even my old school friends who I'm still very close to, you know, friends from back in the day, from when I was in high school, they are friends for life, you know, and I don't have to invest in those friendships anymore in the same way that I had to back in the day when we were building these friendships. These friendships are there. Yeah. I can fall back on them and whenever, and they know that they can fall back on me. And with finding solutions for my businesses, like for Coffee Vine, I was always afraid if I move the business somewhere else, I'm not going to be able to do the same work. And I realized I'm not going to move it to Spain because it's super complicated to do what I do there. And that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to hire someone. I'm going to leave the business here. I'm going to run it remotely. I'm still going to do a lot of the activities I was doing on a daily basis. I'm going to do them from there. And if need be, I can come back.
Yeah.
Fresh Drip, I found a buyer. They're going to take care of all the distribution, of all the production, everything. I'm just going to focus on growing the business, which is what I love. I don't love the other parts. And finding this structure was really important. And it's giving me this freedom, you know, to arrive in Barcelona single, without any obligations, without a house, without a mortgage, without, you know, an office that I need to go to. Like, I can just build a new life that I want, make the friends that I want. And I'm finally, like, I don't want to say that before I was restricted in any way. In some ways I was, but, like, you know, not in a way that it was bad. You know, like, I love what I do. I'm proud of what I've achieved. And I would have stayed in Amsterdam if Michael and I had stayed together and we decided to stay here because we just bought this house. But it was not meant to be. And it's okay.
I mean, and that's cheesy to say, but then, you know, somehow everything for a reason in some ways.
Yeah.
Because it does feel like you, through that process, you got yourself your freedom that you needed.
Yeah.
To arrange things, to pursue what you find important as your main value, and going to enjoy it and live it that way. Yeah. We have come to the end of this episode. We could talk for hours more. But I think it's just a nice close off of this episode where you can think that you can put all the pieces and puzzle pieces in the right place, but it's about creating that feeling for yourself that you feel empowered to take on the world. being in a good place.
It is, and I think I've had a lot of conversations with friends lately because everyone's asking me, "Are you sad about leaving Amsterdam?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not sad. I'm actually excited to be leaving Amsterdam because I'm leaving it personally, feeling like I have accomplished everything.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my relationship. Okay, I didn't keep the house. That's fine. But at the end of the day, I gained so much more. And I feel like in nearly 2 decades of living here, I achieved so much more than I ever thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm leaving on a high.
Mm-hmm.
I feel great. Like I feel
Timing could not be better.
timing couldn't be better. Like in Barcelona already, my friends there are like, they're messaging me asking, when are you coming? Like, when are you here? Like, I feel like I'm gonna arrive there and plug straight into an amazing life that is waiting for me there.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't taken this opportunity now to do this, I would probably end up resenting Amsterdam at some point. If I had stayed here, maybe feeling miserable, maybe feeling like, oh, I should have taken this opportunity. Maybe I should have done this, I should have done that. And now I feel like, no, I did everything I wanted. And it worked out exactly as it should have. And now I'm ready to go.
I'm excited for you.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm going to be in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Hit
are
me
hit me up. Maybe we're able to meet.
Yeah.
Do a
absolutely.
quick peek on a bench about his life in Barcelona.
How cool would that be?
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? As a bonus?
Why not?
Bonus edition.
Episode for subscribers only.
The link below to
Yeah.
become a member.
Exactly, on your Patreon.
Yeah. Circle, but yes.
Yes.
Is there anything you would like to share with the audience regarding this topic? It's a bit thing on the spot, but maybe there's a piece of knowledge or experience you'd like to share for everyone in search of or considering moving, or I don't know, could be Barcelona related. I don't know. You choose. To end the show with.
No, I don't want to share anything specific about Barcelona because I don't live there yet.
No.
So I don't want to jinx it for myself and be like, it's amazing. And then I end up moving there and I hate it. No, just kidding. No, I think one of the things that I learned during this whole process is to stick with your guns and to not get distracted, to not make rash decisions. If you have a goal, follow this through. I was very, very focused in this whole year since Michael and I were talking about moving. And I was like, okay, this is my goal. 1 year, I'm going to achieve this, and this. And sometimes you have to take charge of your fate. Like if something doesn't work out, like for instance, very briefly, when I was trying to sell Fresh Drip, I had an offer on the table that I didn't want. I didn't like the offer. So I heard that Muyi had installed one of these machines in their production facility in Kenya. So I approached the founder.
Yeah.
I had his number on my phone. I was like, we need to talk. I have a proposal. And he was like, this sounds interesting. And if I had not taken this opportunity to go after this opportunity that I created for myself, because if I had not approached Muyi, I would not be talking about this now. Then this would not have happened. And I think it is also about taking control of your destiny, but not forcing something to the degree that it becomes like a sour experience. Like if you see an opportunity, grab it. But if you realize that it's not going to work out, let it go. Because you are just going to end up frustrating yourself and getting angry. And I think this is the same with my relationship. Like I let Michael go because I knew this wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
If I'd forced him to stay, he would have started hating me. This would have gone nowhere. We would have ended up in a really bad place. And this way, obviously we're not together anymore, but we're still amicable with each other. We still respect each other. We still love each other. But it just didn't work out. And it's okay. And just accepting that sometimes things don't work out is also a strength that you learn over time, and something else will come along.
Yeah. I like that part of setting goals because we also have like a good place program where we ask people to set goals, because otherwise it's just going to be something vague, abstract in the near future. And you need to commit to something. If you want it, you need to go for it and break it up in little steps, and little by little you work towards to it. And halfway through, it's working, we're getting there. And if not, you need to let it go and change your course, steer.
Yeah.
I always think of a, I don't know, Formula One driver. First, you're doing a track walk, and he's like, "Okay, I'm driving," and then it doesn't work. You end up in the gravel, and
If only they'd done that on the Titanic.
exactly
Of course.
change course while they were awake. But sometimes they had to, not hit the brakes, but hit the gas pedal to avoid something.
Indeed.
Bit of history, people. Alex, I'm gonna say thank you. Appreciate it, matey.
Thank you for having me.
Wishing you all the best in
Thanks.
Barcelona. I'm excited for you again.
And the offer to do a bonus episode or like bonus component to this episode in Barcelona is there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Make sure to release this one before that, and then
Yeah.
record a bonus. I like that. We'll make it happen. I haven't booked my tickets yet, so I can build around your comedy workshop.
It's okay. The comedy's here. So I'll be back in Barcelona by then.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Everyone watching, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
And please subscribe, like, do all the things that you need to do to let this channel grow. And we'll be catching up soon at another bench, another city. I hope the sun still shines, but we'll see. Have a nice day. See ya.